Oops. I gotta get my sleeve out. There we go. Hello, everyone. Just before I get back, we have 2 nights left of the Advent calendar. Today is day 23. We will soon find out what that book is going to be. Thank you for coming and joining me. Please hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button and hit the bell if you want to keep coming back for. I'm also going to be doing a live after this live of Christmas lights around town and of our little special area that is called Candy Cane Lane. So let's get on with the book, and then we will meet again in the next little live right after this one. What do we have tonight? Where's 23? Oh, there it is, right in front of me. Haha. Coco. I have never actually seen this show, so this is a new book to me as well as you. I don't know this story. Coco. Cool. Okay. Hopefully I don't get the names wrong. Sorry. Long ago, in a small town of Santa Cecilia, I guess it is, a family called the Riveras welcomed a beautiful little girl into their lives. They named her Coco. They were a musical family, full of dancing, laughter, and happiness. But when Coco's father left to follow his dreams of making music for the world, her mother, Imelda, vowed to ban music from the family forevermore. She also tore her husband's face from the family photo and pretended the man never existed. Then, to provide for her daughter, she learned to make shoes. As the years passed by, Imelda's shoe business grew, and so did her family. Coco had a family of her own, including a great grandson called Miguel. Coco and Miguel would spend many happy hours together, where she would talk about her past. However, as Coco got older and her memory began to fade, she wasn't able to recall as many stories as she once could. Miguel was a devoted grandson, but he had a secret that he didn't dare tell his family, not even Coco. Miguel loved music and wished to play his guitar in the talent show taking place in Mariachi Plaza that very night. There was only one who knew his secret, his best friend, a secret dog called Dante. Miguel's idol was the famous musician Ernesto de la Cruz, who also came from Santa Cecilia. The townsfolk adored de la Cruz. He had many hits, including the beautiful ballad Remember Me. Unfortunately, he tragically passed away before Miguel was born. Miguel longed to tell his family about his love of music, but knew how they would react. Instead, he helped to prepare for Dia de los Muertos. Sorry, I'm not very good with Spanish. Instead, he helped. The Festival of the Dead. There you go. It's the one night of the year our ancestors can come and visit us, said Abuelita. Miguel patiently listened as Abuelita explained the importance of the ofrenda, a sacred shrine. It was said that placing a photo on the sacred shrine meant relatives who had passed away were able to come back and visit the living once more. Tonight is about family, she added. Later that evening, Miguel sat in his attic hideout, playing his home guitar and watching an old recording of his hero, De La Cruz. He then heard something that caught his attention. When you see your moment, you mustn't let it pass you by. You must seize it, said the voice from the TV. Miguel jumped up. No more hiding, Dante. I gotta seize my moment. I'm gonna be in Mariachi Plaza if it kills me. Guitar in hand, he headed out of the attic. Miguel snuck through the house with Dante close behind. Suddenly, there was an almighty crash. Dante had pulled some chicken off the shrine, accidentally knocking over a flame with a torn photo of Imelda, Coco, and Miguel's great great grandfather. It now lay broken on the floor. Miguel looked at the torn photograph and wondered why his family never spoke of Coco's father. He then realized the man in the photo was holding the same guitar as his idol, De La Cruz. Miguel was stunned. Ernesto de la Cruz is my great great grandfather. That's cool. Didn't know that. Didn't see that coming. Miguel placed the photo in his jacket and raced to find his family. With the knowledge of who his great great grandfather was, Miguel explained to them all about his love for music. I want to be a musician, he announced proudly. As Miguel began to play his guitar, Abonita, who was very cross with Miguel, snatched it from him. No music, she cried, and smashed the guitar hard on the ground, breaking it into pieces. Despite his guitar being broken, Miguel was determined to play in the talent show. However, he needed a new guitar. An idea soon came to him, and Miguel ran straight to De La Cruz's tomb. Miguel saw the guitar hanging on the wall. It was definitely the same one in the family photo. I need to borrow this, said Miguel, who gently lifted the guitar down and strummed a chord. As he played, glowing marigold petals floated up into the air and swirled around Miguel. The young boy started to feel very strange. As Miguel left the tomb, he was greeted outside by Dante and a few others, namely all his relatives who had passed away. Not knowing why Miguel could see them or why they could see Miguel, the family decided to take him to the land of the dead. Mama Imelda will know what to do, said Papa Julio, Coco's husband and Miguel's great-grandfather. The Riviera family led Miguel across a beautiful bridge of glowing marigold petals. Wow, said Miguel, who was amazed by the bright lights and peculiar-looking creatures of all shapes and sizes. The Rivieras explained that these magical creatures were called guides. Soon, Miguel was introduced to Mama Imelda. What is going on? She asked, confused as to why he was there and why he had her photo that should have been on the family shrine. Before Miguel could explain, Imelda held out a glowing marigold petal. She explained that, with her blessing, this petal would allow Miguel to go back home and return the photo to the ofrenda. There was one condition. Never play music again, she cried. Unhappy with Imelda, Miguel ran off. Maybe, if he found De La Cruz, he would give him a blessing with no conditions at all. As he headed outside, Miguel met a man named Hector, who knew De La Cruz. The boy explained that he needed to find De La Cruz in order to get a blessing to go home. Hector agreed to help him, but only if Miguel placed a photo of Hector on the shrine when he returned to Santa Cecilia. Miguel was more than willing to help if it meant meeting his great-great-grandfather. Hector was relieved to have the boys' help too, as this was his last chance to see his family before meeting the final death. This was the fate that awaited all dead ancestors, forgotten by their living family. Not wanting to draw suspicion, Hector helped to disguise Miguel with makeup. Then they were off. Meanwhile, Imelda was using a spirit guide, Pepita, to track down Miguel. Blowing a magical mist on the ground, Pepita revealed a shoe print bearing an R. "It's a Riviera boot," cried Pepita Julio, thinking it must belong to Miguel. Pepita's magical mist revealed more footprints, and the Riviera family set off on Miguel's trail. As they went to find De la Cruz, Miguel and Hector learned of a talent show that was taking place. The winner would get to meet De la Cruz himself. It was soon Miguel's turn to perform. He jumped up on stage and began to play. The crowd loved him, and it wasn't long before Hector and Dante were dancing along next to him. Just then, the Rivieras arrived at the show looking for Miguel. Hector realized that Miguel had a blessing to leave this whole time. "You lied to me," he cried. "I'm taking you to your family." "You only care about yourself," shouted Miguel, who pulled away and threw Hector's photo back at him. He then ran off before his family could stop him. Eventually, Miguel found De la Cruz's home. A party was in full swing, but Miguel used his skills as a musician to get De la Cruz's attention. He walked toward De la Cruz as he played his guitar, but tripped and fell into the pool. Miguel's makeup washed away as De la Cruz pulled him out. Miguel told the singer that he believed he was his great-great-grandson. "I need your blessing," he added, "so I can go back home and be a musician. The rest of our family wouldn't listen, but I hoped you would. With a talent like yours, how could I not listen?" replied De la Cruz, who placed Miguel on top of his shoulders. "I have a great-great-grandson," he proudly declared to the crowd of people. After the party had finished, De la Cruz was about to send Miguel home with his blessing. Suddenly, Hector stormed into the building, waving the photo Miguel had thrown at him. "You said you'd take my photo back, Miguel," cried Hector. He then turned to De la Cruz, someone who, many years ago, Hector considered a friend before things turned sour. He accused De la Cruz of stealing his songs. Miguel was shocked, but before he could question whether this was true, De la Cruz snatched away the photo and had Miguel and Hector thrown into a deep pit. Trapped with nothing more to lose, Hector told Miguel about his regret. "For your family," he added. Miguel sat next to Hector and gazed up at the pit opening. A friendly face had appeared. "Dante!" he cried. Dante had led Imelda and Pepita straight to Hector and Miguel. Pepita swooped down and they climbed onto her back. Imelda held Miguel in her arms. Miguel apologized to Imelda for disobeying her. "I'm ready to accept your blessing and your conditions, but first I need to find De la Cruz to get Hector's photo." He explained to Imelda that he needed to place Hector's photo on the shrine. Imelda had wanted to forget Hector had ever existed, but she never wanted this for him. "I can't save you, Hector, but I will help you," she said. With time running out, the pair hurried to confront De la Cruz. A struggle began, and, despite snatching Hector's photo off De la Cruz, Miguel was thrown from the top of the building by the angry singer. Luckily, Pepita caught the young boy. Unknown to De la Cruz, the whole scene was witnessed by his adoring fans, who quickly started booing their former idol. Miguel reached for the photo, but realized he dropped it when he was falling. Their last chance to save Hector was slipping away. Hector was now desperately clinging to life. He held out a glowing petal. You have our blessings, Miguel, he whispered. No conditions, added Imelda. Before he knew it, Miguel was back in De la Cruz's tomb in Santa Cecilia. He grabbed the guitar and raced away to find his great-grandmother, Coco, in the hope she would remember her father before it was too late. When Miguel found Coco, he quickly told her about his adventures. I saw your papa, he said. Remember? Papa, please. If you forget him, he'll be gone forever. It was clear Coco was struggling to remember. Miguel had an idea. He picked up the guitar and started playing Remember Me. Slowly, her face lit up as the memories came flooding back to her. She remembered the song and, more importantly, her father. Taking out an old book, Coco showed Miguel a torn picture of Hector. It was the missing piece from Imelda's family photo. Miguel smiled. He knew that the memory of Hector was saved and the Riviera family was once again united. Holding the guitar, which he now knew belonged to Hector, Miguel began to play. Once more, the Riviera family's lives were filled with laughter, dancing, happiness, and, most of all, music. The end. Thank you so much for coming and listening to the story Coco for day 23 of the Advent calendar. Tomorrow is the very last day of it, so please come and join me for the very last day. I will be doing a small little live after this one as well. On the road, if you want to say, we are going to be touring our little town where all of the Christmas lights are lit up. And then tomorrow I'll be doing a small little live after my book reading as well, because it's the last one and just before Christmas Eve. So please hit that thumbs up, please hit the subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to keep coming back for more. And I will see you in a little bit with a live stream of Christmas Town Lights and Candy Cane Lane. Thank you for coming. Love you all. Be safe. Hugs.